Today we launched our 16, 18, and 20 dimension fans. This is a pretty exciting day for us because these have never been seen before in the lash industry. In this video, I'll be showing just how to work with our 16, 18, and 20D fans, as well as transitioning my model from a volume set into a brand new mega set. Before examining any set, I always check the eye shape and consult with my client about style and really take her eye shape into consideration. So for Antonia, my model today, she loves drama and she can definitely handle it. She has the perfect almond shaped eyes and her lashes are without a doubt the strongest natural lashes that I have ever worked on. So she's a great candidate for 16, 18, or 20D fans. And with this said, just because I'm doing a really dramatic mega volume set, that doesn't mean that she's not going to have lashes in there that won't be suitable for the weight of these fans. So for these lashes, instead of skipping them over, unless they're baby lashes that can't handle eyelash extensions, I will fill those with another dimension. And you can totally assess the lashes as you go to figure out which dimension will work best for these lashes. I always have a ton of dimensions on hand for this case. So I'm looking at her eye shape, and Antonia has, like I said, almond shaped eyes, which are perfect, but at the bottom, they dip pretty low. So if we go in with really long, dramatic lengths on the very ends of her eyes, it's going to actually pull her eyes down, making them look a little droopy. So instead of going with my longer lengths on the very end, I'm gonna bump my lengths down in those sections. So there's something called a squirrel technique, and this actually goes shorter on the inners and about at the middle where her pupil would sit if she was looking straight. From there over, we're gonna work with our longest lengths. In this case, it's gonna be a 14 millimeter, and I'll be working with a C curl. But on those ends, we're gonna really dip back down because I really don't want to elongate those and drag her eyes down, making them look droopy. We wanna lift them up. Because Antonia loves drama, we've played around with a ton of dramatic styles on her eyes. She's super open to different styles and trying new things, which is great. Last time we actually did a spiked lash look on her, but we're ready to veer away from that and go into a more dramatic mega look this time. So we'll be kind of transitioning, and we're gonna work with longer lengths. So my shortest length will be a 10 millimeter, and my longest length will be a 14 millimeter. But you can see here, she has quite a few spikes left over from her last set. And these are looking a little bit off right now, and that's something to keep in mind if you are looking to do a spiked set on your client. Keep in mind that as those lashes shed, sometimes you'll have uneven spikes left. So these definitely take a little more maintenance. But today, working with the longer lengths, we're gonna really blend those in and you won't even be able to notice that they're there. So when we're switching sets from, example, a spike set into a mega set, we don't always have to remove all of the lashes to do this. We can kind of work with what we're given and then just explain to our client that sometimes there is a transition, and sometimes that transition period isn't going to be the optimal end result, but it's still gonna be beautiful and we'll work towards it. That way your client saves money on a removal as well as a full set. And you can just fill, and then the next time you'll be closer, and the next time you should be 100% where you wanna be. I do find, especially with spikes, sometimes I will have to go through and just pop a few of those lashes off if the eyes look a little uneven. So you can do that. We have had other videos made on peeling techniques that you can check out for sure. And one other thing I wanted to mention is weights. So as I've talked about, Antonia has beautiful natural lashes, so they're very strong. They're able to withstand almost anything that the industry has to offer. But if you're unfamiliar with where to start and how to assess your client's natural lashes to find the best dimension for your client, definitely go onto our Instagram TV and check out our classic versus volume weight equivalency video. This is a really good video to check out if you're used to using classics and you're unsure of what to use for volume. When we're working with Mega, sometimes it's really hard to isolate because the fans really fall all over the place. But here's some tips on how to isolate your Mega sets, and any set actually. But you'll see, it's really hard to see the natural lashes in here, but if I use my finger and pull a little bit away from the pad while still putting pressure in a downward motion, so it's closing the eyes but pulling a little bit up so that the lashes are separated from the pad and you're not worrying about sticking your lash to the pad, and also a little bit to the side. When I do that, they almost isolate for me. And I'm using my volume tweezer as well just to hold lashes out of the way. Making sure that I'm just getting one lash. And see these guys right here? Sometimes those can get a little bit annoying, especially if the fan's kind of fanning out pretty aggressively. We don't want to hitch on those. So, move those guys out of the way. Holding till you know it's ready. The reason why I do this is because our natural lash is behind there. And I don't know if this is actually true, but it gives me some comfort when I push the natural lash toward the extension to just make as many points of contact as possible. And I feel like it's also drying the lash as well, but I think this is more of a me preference thing. Another way to find lashes is to use your finger and pull the lashes back. You can see they basically isolate themselves. Feel free to go in, and if one is perfectly isolated, like this little guy right here, and you know there's nothing around it, feel free to go in and add a lash to it. This lash is not suitable for 16, 18, or 20D, so I would just go in with a lower dimension fan, like maybe a 4D would be nice on that lash, so that I'm not weighing it down. But that's a good way to find other lashes, see? These are the little layers too. Everyone, well not everyone, but most people have layers to their lashes. So you'll always find little guys underneath. And by holding the longer lashes back, you know they're longer than the natural lashes. So if you hold them back, those natural lashes should pop through. And then my last way to find is by taking our spoolie. You can do this as well, holding them back, finding where the natural lashes are. Again, using my finger, pulling to the side, and using our spoolie to kind of push the lashes out of the way, like so. When we're ready to isolate, we can actually keep our tweezer closed and pull it to the side, or hold these lashes away with our finger and isolate.